What have I learned from full-time RVing all of these years? That could be an interesting topic once I get out. You see that trench they've dug there? That's to put in security cameras for those storage buildings. He's probably spent $10,000 on security cameras or more. And I don't think they've ever had a problem. But anyway, be that as it may, back to what has RV taught me, or what have I learned from full-time RVing over 25 years. I'm 77 years old. I still live full-time in a Class C motorhome, a Thor 4 Winds 22E. I love it. The best RV I've ever had, actually. But what have I learned? Well, I've learned to be kind of a general repairman. I mean, to be able to find, electrical issues, water leaks and stuff. But fortunately on this one I've got now, the Class C, I haven't had any of those issues. So maybe I won't. But on the older models I had, I had them all. Roof leaks, window leaks, refrigerator going off and on, hot water heater going out, the usual stuff. And all those things teach you a little patience. You become kind of a handyman, not great, but a start. And and what else? Well, it's also taught me how to enjoy living without a lot of stuff, even though I still have stuff, but not near as much as I had when I lived in a sticks and bricks many years ago, and for many years. But no, I have a few things, but not much. And but yeah, you become kind of a minimalist. You don't have places to put stuff, so therefore you can't get stuff. And but I'm amazed at how well some RVers do in the larger motorhomes and fifth wheels, because they do pretty good on acquiring stuff. Yeah, I've noticed that. And what else? Living in a smaller space is probably the overall biggest item that I have learned to enjoy over the years. I've got 120 square feet of living area now, approximately. I've had as little as 80 in a casita 17-footer travel trailer. And but when you're inside the RV, it seems like it's quite large. But when you're outside looking at it, particularly the casita, it looks like some kind of bug, that no one could live in, But you learn that. And also over the years, I've gotten to see a lot of the western U.S., not much of the eastern, because I don't like to cross the Mississippi River going east. But all the western states, I believe I've been to every one of them, or at least driven across them or spent the night or something, and over the years. And they're all different, all beautiful, borders. If you took away the imaginary borders, which basically they are anyway, it's all one planet, and you just go from one area of topography to another, or environment to another. And it's just a pretty, like right now we're in the mountains near Capitan, New Mexico. I'm headed towards Ruidoso. And I have my Class C motorhome on a lot in Capitan, New Mexico, under a cover that I had built by Eagle Carports, and it's great. So I've got a home base in Capitan, New Mexico, and a home base in Fort Clark Springs, Texas. Will I always have those? Well, will you always have anything? Who knows? But I look at other areas to possibly check out, because again, I'm 77, and when I get to be around 80, I would like to be, where I'm going to be till the end, I guess you'd say. Where will that be? I'm not sure. Capitan's, the winters are a little colder, or cold actually, and Fort Clark Springs, Texas, the summers are hellish. They're just damn hot. And so, but that's Texas. Most of Texas gets pretty warm. Actually, Louisiana is the hottest state in Florida. But be that as it may, moving along to what's RVing taught me, to live a simpler life. You just don't need a lot of stuff, and there's a whole world out here, as you can see, the mountains straight ahead, and off to the right, about 20 miles, is just high desert around Carrizozo. And if you go on further, you get back in the mountains, and if you go on further, you get back in the desert, and on it goes. And if you go far enough west, you get to the Pacific Ocean, and that's also very scenic. There was a time many years ago that I actually drove on Highway 1, and there wasn't much traffic. But now I'm told that it's almost bumper to bumper. It could be. I don't know. I haven't been out there in years. But yeah, so those are the things that have changed. But as far as what I've learned, I've learned that life is what you make it, no matter where you are. The location is that changes or can change. Does that change you? It does over time. Environment has impact for sure, but as far as your basic personality and other things, probably not much. You're still you, no matter where you are. And so that's something that anybody that's considering the RV lifestyle needs to bear in mind, that it's not, it's not going to, it'll change you in the sense that you're in a different location and you're doing something different, but you're still you overall. You still have, if you had health issues, you still probably got them. And so, but it is an enjoyable way of life. Would I do it all over again? Sure. And better, because now you got the internet, you can find campsites easier. Back when I started, you just had a big old, looked like a New York telephone directory to find places, and you'd get a phone number, you'd call it, and they'd been out of business for 10 years, So it certainly wasn't reliable information. But again, we're just cruising now. Y'all can enjoy the drive. We'll go all the way into Ruidoso, to the place where I get my Diet Dr. Pepper. Do I need it? No. Do I want it? Yeah. Do wants overrule needs? Most of the time. And that's kind of how people end up RVing. It's something they want to do. It's not something they really need to do. Did I need to do it? Need to start RVing? Kind of, because I didn't have a lot of income. I had a little savings, not much, when I got back from the Peace Corps in 1995, and so I had to do something that would allow me to live rather economically, so to speak. And so that was the first RV I owned. Prior to that, going in the Peace Corps, I was living in an RV that I was renting. I did that for a couple of years. But anyway, here we are in some of the prettiest, or one of the prettiest places in New Mexico for sure, the Ruidoso, Capitan, Carrizozo area. And you got mountains, desert, and it's pretty dadgum neat. Temperature right now, it shows to be about 68 degrees. It's 8:45 a.m. in the morning. It's perfectly clear. This is June the 8th, I guess, 2023. When will this video come up? I don't know. Whenever it does. Whenever it does. No hurry. It'll get there. But yeah, just to give you an idea of the temp. In Texas right now, in Bracketville, it's probably close to 85. It's about 15 degrees warmer to 20 on warmer on the high end, and it's about 15 degrees and 20 degrees cooler on the low end here. On the low end, it was 40 this morning. I'm sure it was 65 in Fort Clark Springs, Texas. But yeah, I'm looking at another option. Always looking at options. Why? Well, it just, first of all, it gives me something to do, and that's one of the things you have to be aware of if you're fixing to retire and adopt a new lifestyle. That you need to stay busy. That's not just an opinion. if you stay busy, you'll stay healthier. That's a fact. Keep your mind busy, dream, even though it's something you probably don't want to, you won't end up doing, so what? Just do something. But living small in an RV is, it's been a good way of life for me. I mean, again, I've done it for over 25 years. And I can't even live in a house. I tried. I bought a house in Texas, in Fort Clark Springs, and it was just a small home, about 500 square feet. And I moved in the house from the RV, the Class C, and then moved back into the Class C. Why? Well, because I'm RV institutionalized, if that's such a thing. I mean, everything is so convenient in the RV. In the house, everything was inconvenient. Like in the RV, the Class C right now, I can be sitting at the dining room table, cooking something on the stove and reach in the refrigerator and get me a beer, without getting up. Is that pretty good? It's okay. And, it's not a long walk from the bed to the bathroom, that's for sure. So, no, it's, you get used to that, and then you realize that that's not all bad. That it's kind of neat, actually. I guess I better slow down here. Speed limit is 30 and 5, and I'm going 50 and 1. That's Rio Bonito, which basically means pretty river. Is that right? Or Bonito? I guess. I don't know about that. But yeah, we go through the winding area. This is Angus Mountain, I think, or Angus Hill or something that we're going over now. But I'm in no hurry at all. So any of you people that are in a hurry, you just get up and go for it. I learned a lot about towing an RV, and of course now driving a Class C, but towing an RV in like this right here, going up, not too bad, a little strain on the engine, you hear a lot of boom, it's straining and stuff and shifting gears and crap. And but it going up is not bad, or it's usually better than going down, because when you go down a mountain, what happens is you're going down and you're kind of tapping your brakes and trying to keep your speed down, and then you come to one of those switchbacks that looks like a fish hook turn, and you got to slow down to 15. Man, yeah, I got in the Rocky Mountains a few times and decided, well, maybe I don't want to be in the Rocky Mountains. They're pretty, they're beautiful. The mountains are just, yeah, I can see how they'd be addictive to the people that live in Colorado. Snow-capped mountains, yeah, Pikes Peak, beautiful place. Rocky Mountain National Park. There's just all kind of stuff in the Rocky Mountain chain to see and do, but not for old Dad, not now. No. Traveling, towing an RV is okay. I enjoyed that, but driving a Class C, I like better. The reason I didn't buy a Class C early on, I couldn't afford it, and I didn't want to take on a big payment, so I waited till I was able to pay cash. Why? It's just the way I am. Hell, it doesn't matter. But everybody has a different way to do things. Variety is the spice of life. No doubt about that. I mean, when you're on the expressway, if you don't believe people are different, look around you. Everybody has a different color car, a different model, a different brand, pickup. We're all different. I'm surprised that we get along as good as we do. Not bad, guys, not bad. What else did I have to say about what I learned from RVing, or what RV living has taught me? Patience. Did it help me with patience? Yeah, in some ways I guess it did, because sometimes you get out on the road and things don't go just the way you think they ought to. And so you got to kind of rein yourself in. Say, whoa, dog. You know, if you don't have any control over it, then there's probably not much you can do about it. Yeah, we'll go on into the little gas station up here. It's a pretty drive, man. I just love this drive. I mean, there's some beautiful drives around Ruidoso. I tell you another pretty drive from Ruidoso going over to Cloudcroft, which is about maybe 50 miles through the mountains in the forest, Lincoln National Forest. Yeah, and very little traffic on those roads, and yeah, you can just cruise along at a nice slow speed and enjoy it. And then when you get to Cloudcroft, you can go down on Burrow Avenue or Burrow Street and go to Dave's and get you a BLT. They got several places to eat in Cloudcroft. What's that got to do with what has RVing taught me? Well, it taught me to go to Cloudcroft. The first time I went to Cloudcroft, was I towing an RV? Let me think. No, I don't think I towed an RV up there the first time. I stayed at Oliver Lee State Park near Alamogordo, and I drove from the state park to Cloudcroft. And I was glad that I did, because had I been towing an RV, it would have been miserable going and coming, because it's an 8% grade, and you go from 5,000 feet to 8,500 feet in 25 miles. So RVing taught me not to tow an RV to Cloudcroft from Alamogordo, even though I did later on. Stayed in the national forest. There was a few places that were free around Cloudcroft, or not far from the downtown area, and the only downside of them were one of them. The one I stayed at had the dreaded biting flies. You know, flies that actually have mandibles that can actually bite. You know, they take a little chunk out of you. Yeah, they were all over this place that was free. And that's something else that RVing taught me. You know, I learned a lot about insects. You know, that they're everywhere. You know, and flies are the international bird. I've never been anywhere there weren't flies. I was in Mongolia for 2 years. Got to go into Russia and China and different places, and everywhere I went there were flies. I can't believe it. Fly and mosquitoes. Yo, Bubba. What's old Bubba gonna do when he gets an electric vehicle and it doesn't make any noise? He'll probably be the last holdout. You know. But anyway, yeah, mosquitoes are everywhere. They're in Alaska, you know, and flies, and you know, they get so thick that they'll suffocate animals. They get in their nose. That's what I was told. You believe everything you're told, Rusty? Not really. But that sounds feasible, because I've had people tell me that they went to Alaska and the mosquitoes were horrible. And that's so weird. It was the same way in Mongolia. You'd go out in the steppe, you know, where the topsoil was kind of mushy because it'd been frozen all the time. And there'd be mosquitoes, and I thought, how in the hell can they live in this frozen tundra, man? Yo. We're almost there, guys. Wake up. Stay awake. Yawning is permitted, but you know, dozing off and snoring that's not allowed. I mean, that disturbs others. But isn't this a pretty drive? I just love this. Come right on into Ruidoso, down the mountain, run, boy, run. And the good thing about coming down the mountain, run, boy, run, is the regenerative braking on my EV electric vehicle, Chevy Bolt. It adds back the energy I have used to get here, or some of it. Yeah, my range on my electric vehicle, my Chevy Bolt, is well, I charged it yesterday, and when I got in it this morning, it was 333 miles. So the range is wholly contingent upon the driver, just like miles per gallon are in a gasoline vehicle. You know, if you have a heavy foot and you're driving fast, not going to be too good. But if you drive slow like I do, or drive the speed limit, you'll be all right. So here's my place to get my soda, and I always park at a gas pump. Everybody asks why, and the answer to that question is usually they're in the shade. And in this part of the country, folks, shade is necessary. Yep, we're here. This is a new store too. Gasoline $3.46 a gallon, and you can see the beer prices there, I guess. It's $12.99 for an 18 pack of Coors and Miller Lite. Not bad, huh? So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, I'm fixing to go in and get me a Dr. Pepper. Thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye. Buy anything you want anytime. But if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of all my videos. Why? It doesn't cost you a penny. Just click on the link and go to Amazon, get what you need. Drink plenty of water, stretch, walk, stand guard at the door of your mind. Very important. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye.